Hi there, fellow poultry enthusiasts. Welcome to Poultry Nerds, the podcast where we nerd out on all things feathered and fabulous. Whether you're a backyard chicken keeper, a farmer looking to optimize your flock's health, or simply a curious bird lover, you're in the right place. Join Jennifer of Bryant's Roost and Carrie of Show Pro Farm Supply, the hosts and fellow poultry nerds. Ready to dive into the wild world of chickens, quail, ducks, and everything in between? Each week, we bring you expert advice, fascinating interviews, and poultry tales that ruffle a few feathers. All served up with a side of humor and a pinch of nerdiness and a few rabbit holes. Let's fly into this next episode.
Hello, and welcome everybody to today's wonderful edition of Quail Mania.
Now, this is actually the podcast.
I was going to say, on the Poultry Nerds podcast.
We're pulling our hair out with the final details now. We're confused.
But, I mean, I will say things are going good.
They are. We are ready this time. There's not going to be any staying up till midnight planning it. So we're there.
This is true. We're like, it's there. Things are set. Most everything's already been tested. Like, wow.
Yeah. That's what happens when you kind of plan things and know what to expect after the first time.
Right.
So before we get started on that, though, let's talk about a few things we have agreed to talk about.
Well, we do have some important things to discuss.
Yes. So today's important announcements are the Livestock Conservancy. If you guys remember, Jeanette has been on the podcast a couple times. She's going to come on again and talk about this more. But the survey, the census is active now, and I'm going to drop a link in the show notes. So if you have standard bred or bantams, they're asking everybody to fill out the survey. Since there's no like breeder registries for chickens, this is how they keep track if birds are endangered or critical or even non-existent anymore. So they're asking everybody with birds to fill out the survey so they can kind of track what is out there, what breeds are out there.
Yeah, that's how they keep up with what's extinct or what's not, yada, 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 so it can all be kept up with.
So she's going to come on and talk about it more, she said, in March, but she asked us to please put the announcement out there that the census is now open.
Yep.
We created the new Facebook group called Incubation Masterclass that kind of partners together with the Incubation Masterclass course online. So if you are incubating, you can go there on Facebook and find us and ask any questions that you have. So that's open.
And look, keep your stuff legit. If you think that some things are one way just because your cousin's best friend's mom told you, that's not what the answers we're looking for. We're looking for stuff that is your firsthand knowledge, firsthand experience, educated background type stuff, because we want to give our listeners legit information, not somebody said so.
Yep. So in that group, we're deleting anything that doesn't make sense or is just plain old wrong. So if you're in there, you see anything, just tag it to a group admin. We'll review it and do what's necessary with it. All right. And then, of course, we have Quail Mania this weekend. So we need to thank our sponsors. We have Valley Hatchery, who is also a podcast sponsor. We have Hatch in Time.
Yep.
And we have Parcel Path. So if you guys haven't checked out Parcel Path, that's a shipping platform. I like them. I use them.
Yeah, Parcel Path's really cool, and it integrates with a lot of stuff. And, you can actually sign up using our promo code, and we'll both get benefits from it. So,
yep. And it's free. It's free to use.
Yeah, free to use.
Yep. So we like it.
Yep.
And Hatchin' Time is offering $25 off to new customers right now.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So if you've been on
So,
the, kind of which one do I get? Go ahead and grab one.
and Valley Hatchery is offering 10% off your order. Use code QuailMania at checkout.
Yep. And
Yep,
that goes live.
it's live.
So you can already use that. Go to Valley
Yeah,
Hatchery,
go for
pick
it.
out what you want, use promo code QuailMania, saves you 10%. I mean, that's like us enabling you to buy more,
Buy more chicks.
to hatch or chicks or, whatever. Because they sell hatching eggs and chicks.
Yes, they do. All right. Well, today's topic, we are going to just kind of run through some things that we have seen on social media lately that we feel like maybe people misunderstand and we need to correct, maybe.
Like some of this stuff, just the answers just straight up crack me up because there's no way it can be remotely true. And other things, I'm like, show me proof because maybe. And some of this crap's just way, way out in left field.
Yes. Yes. Um, we don't want to make fun of anybody, so we're just going to go through the topics and
And if like one of these is yours, I'm sorry, we're not making fun of you. We love you, but we seek to educate people.
yes. Okay, so the first one that has come up is you shouldn't feed your chickens garlic because it'll make the eggs taste garlicky. I have not noticed that. I have noticed fish meal will make them taste a little fishy to me, but David can't taste it. But I do give mine garlic and oregano, and I have never tasted garlic or oregano in my eggs. So,
So in the ration that is in a lot of your better quality breeder rations, they include a rather large amount of fish meal because fish meal is a natural way to get a ton of amino acids to your birds. And it also helps with the binding process if you're making a pellet because it's a very fine powder. But the amount, like you would have to give your chickens 30+% of their daily diet in garlic for somebody that is super sensitive in their taste to even get a hint of garlic.
yeah, it's called pre-marinating.
Well, that's why I just feed mine grain and minerals and, because people, like with Thanksgiving, people said, oh, this turkey tastes so good. How long do you marinate it? About
Mm.
about 18 weeks, 16 weeks, something like that.
All right, what about apple cider vinegar? It fixes everything. Did you know that?
So I hear two different things. I hear it'll fix everything, and I hear it will 86 and all your birds. And I'm here to say that it will not your birds unless you extremely, I don't know. I've even had birds drink it straight and they didn't pass. There is a lot of positive things about apple cider vinegar. It's a probiotic. It helps keep the gut wall and the gut in check in the bird. It also slows down the goopy stuff that forms in the water. So, it has some benefits. It's not an antibiotic by all means, but
So I have a concoction that is in my barn fridge. It's in an
the
old,
barn fridge.
I don't know, it's in that old, it's like a plastic lemonade jug, those heavy duty plastic jugs, like a vinegar jug. You know how it's heavy. So I got some oregano out of my garden, got some garlic cloves, and some fresh apple cider vinegar because I make my own. It's not hard. You can Google it. And some water. I think that was it. And put it in that jug. And that jug now has been going for, I'm going to say 3 years at this point. And when I use it, I have gallon waters that I use, and I just give it a splash. And then when I'm done, I just top it off and maybe add some more garlic or oregano if I have it laying around in there, and just put it back in the barn fridge. It'll just steep in there, like kind of like a tea. And I just throw a splash in there. Now, that is only when the birds are going to be stressed. Like, say I'm organizing breeder groups. So they're all kind of new to being in a tight quarters together. Or the weather's changing, it's 70 degrees one day and it's 40 degrees the next day. You might hear some sniffles or something. Just kind of give them that, and it's an immunity boost.
I mean, like my grandparents both took a shot of apple cider vinegar with the mother every day because it'll keep you alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the truth of that, but they both lived well into their 90s. So
Don't overthink these additives to your water. I mean, I'm going to say out of 365 days, 360 days, my chickens get plain old water. They get nothing else.
and when you look at stuff like being a manufacturer, we have to put specific measuring amounts, like 1 tablespoon per gallon or 3 tablespoons per gallon. That's just like a requirement. But let's be honest, how many of y'all have tablespoon measuring spoons or whatever in your barn? I mean, Jennifer probably does because she's fancy. She has a barn fridge, but which I think everybody needs a barn fridge and a barn radio. But that's just me. A splash is good. Do it to it. Chickens need grit, even if they are free range.
Oh,
Well, if they're free
absolutely.
range, they have access to rocks all day.
We'll be right back.
This episode is proudly supported by the folks at Valley Hatchery. Valley Hatchery isn't just chickens. They offer quail hatching eggs, waterfowl, turkeys, game birds, guineas, and started pullets. The list really does go on. If it belongs on a working homestead, Valley Hatchery has it covered. What we appreciate is their focus on strong, healthy birds, clear information, and real choices like optional vaccinations, so you can raise your birds the way you want. From backyard flocks to working farms, Valley Hatchery provides hardworking birds for hardworking people. Learn more at valleyhatchery.com. My birds that are loose on, I don't know, I'm going to guess at 5 or 6 acres or so they can run. They eat more grit than the other ones.
Yeah.
If I put it out, when I put it out. So, yes, every bird needs grit. If you want to maximize the money you're spending on feed, add
Like
grit.
everybody asks me, they're like, "What's the bet? What can I do to save money on feed?" Well, there's 2 things. You can either buy my feed because it has grit in it, or you can give your birds grit and make it available 24/7. Because studies have shown that grit that's readily available 24/7 will reduce feed intake by as much as 24, I believe, was the last piece of information I read from a reputable source. So,
Yep, grit.
they don't have teeth. They got to break them grains up A lot of people that are diehard whole kernel corn feeders, they don't want cracked corn. How are they going to break that up? They need grit because they don't have teeth.
Mm-hmm. All right, a lash egg. I've actually only seen one in all my years of chickening. I don't know exactly how common it really is. Do you have any idea how common it is?
I hope it ain't real common because it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's kind of crepey looking, like crepe paper, and it's kind of large and odd shape. And if you open it,
Blech.
yeah, it's nasty on the inside. Bitchin' Chickens, and I always refer people to her blog on this one. She did a fantastic blog post on lash eggs. I think, was it last
Man,
year she
she
did
does
it?
some good blog posts on that
Yep.
and anything to do with opening up a chicken and figuring out anything. Like she gets deep into science.
Yep. So if you think you have a lash egg, look up Bitchin' Chickens is her blog and put in lash egg. But it's caused by I think it's a virus, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that word, sapingitis. Um, but the bird is sick. It's not, and
SALPINGITIS.
yeah.
Because
Um,
I don't know how to say it either.
Personally, I like to cull anything that's off so it wouldn't stay here. But if you
Oh, if
need
I
more
had one
information
doing
on it,
that and figured it out, she would be a goner.
yeah, you need to look that up and check on it if you think that that's going to be a problem.
This one right here, one of my favorites.
I had a
Like
good one the other day.
and bless their heart, I have seen it a lot. I have had this question asked to me by two people face to face, which was very hard for me, very difficult. But there's people out there that believe that you must have a rooster for hens to lay eggs.
They must be vegans because they think that we're making the chickens lay eggs somehow.
No, that would be Mother Nature
Yeah.
because hens lay eggs based on a light cycle and being hormonally mature.
So you
The
don't need a
only,
rooster?
I mean, they're kind of like people. You only need one of them if you're going to make more. So if you want to hatch those eggs, you need a rooster. That's a scientific proven fact. Not a
Okay.
hen that identifies as a rooster, but an actual rooster.
So I got a text from another farm, and he had received a message that she wanted to bring her eggs over to him because he had a rooster, so he could have the rooster fertilize her eggs.
Okay,
So
that too is not a thing.
the rooster has to fertilize the eggs before they're laid.
Yes. So she
So
would need to rent a rooster, which is a thing. People
really?
rent, people rent cows for it.
Wow.
People rent bulls. So, and if you live in one of those neighborhoods where you can't have a rooster, but you can have hens, like in the Birmingham area, Vestavia Hills and Hoover both have city ordinance that allow you to have 6 hens, but 0 roosters.
Hmm.
And if that's the case for you, then rent a rooster. And what I would do is take one of my roosters and put him in isolation for about 3 or 4 days, maybe 5. And I'd bring him over to your house and set him down in your coop. And then about 15 minutes later, I'd get him and you collect eggs for a few days and hatch them out.
Wow. You can, and I would like to add to that you can eat fertilized eggs. We'll get
That
asked
won't
that
kill you?
question. No, no,
Oh,
you can eat fertilized eggs that probably you have been eating them all
man,
along and you didn't
that's a
realize
good
it.
thing because if you couldn't eat fertilized eggs, then I've got a lot of sterile roosters. And I have really good hatch rates. So,
All right, the
Hmm.
next one, we have a list here, by the way.
yep,
The
we
next one is
compiled
about
a list.
lights, which Carrie does more reading on the lights than I do. So go for it on these
I mean,
red
I only
lights.
wrote a paper about it.
Yeah.
So we see a lot of people that say red lights in the coop stops pecking. That is a crock. Chickens do see red very well, and they are drawn to red as a color. It's the color of blood. The pecking, it's not going to stop pecking because it makes them think about red blood more. Like have y'all ever noticed that a lot of feeders and a lot of waterers are red? Chickens are drawn to red. But a blue light, especially in a brooder, is a lot better because it promotes growth. Now, the red light in the color spectrum does cause chickens to lay better. It stimulates that. But like with everything, if you have your lights too bright, you're going to cause problems. Like if your red light's too bright, it'll cause those problems. If you have white light too bright, it's going to cause your birds to be stressed out. They need light like an overcast day. And somebody did a rather lengthy study and probably got paid a stupid amount of money to come up with 2700 Kelvin as the optimum color of lighting for adult birds. But they did a lot of research, and the least amount of feed intake and the best amount of reproduction and egg laying happened when it was like that. So don't use a red light in your coop. It's not going to stop pecking. Pecking is because your birds are bored and they don't have nothing to do, or because they don't have enough methionine in their diet.
All right, then.
Yeah.
Okay, talking to your chickens make them lay more. Well,
What are y'all
if that
talking
were
about?
true, I'd have bucket loads of eggs, and I talk to my Orpingtons every morning, and they haven't laid an egg yet this year.
I was going to say, quail, I don't know, because they hear me all the time and they lay all the time, but my reds and my turkeys, I talk to them. Sometimes I'm telling them how stupid they are. And, when my turkeys start making noises at me, I talk back to them, but they lay when they want to.
Yeah.
So,
All right, chickens are vegetarians.
well, if that's the case, then why would they peck at each other?
Mine eat insulation and styrofoam when they
Man,
find it.
chickens will eat anything.
Yeah.
Things they shouldn't.
Didn't you send me a video not too long ago of a guy throwing styrofoam in his brooder?
Yeah, there's because a lot of people think that chickens will pecking on styrofoam will make them stop pecking each other too. But the only reason it works is because they're overcrowded and they're bored, and it gives them something else to do. But styrofoam is also a petroleum-based product, so I'm not sure giving your chicken something made out of oil is really great for them.
So they're not vegetarians. They're going to eat bugs, which is animal.
Oh, yeah. They
They're gonna
love
eat worms.
Man, look, I take a handful of any kind of larvae, like the kind that grow on underneath my outdoor quail pen. I can shovel some of them suckers up and throw them in a grow out. Them little larvae will disappear very fast.
Before I got rid of the cochins, I had a couple of quail chicks get loose in the barn, and I opened the door and they ran outside, and the cochins looked at them and went and ate them.
Yeah, probably really, really fast.
But I know I've told this story before, but it doesn't matter because I love this story. Do you remember the story of the duck and the cicada that I had?
Mm-hmm.
So the duck was over in front of the barn. And it was the cicadas were out everywhere, and he saw one and he grabbed it. And I guess he didn't have a good grip on it, so he kind of like mashed it down on the ground and redid his grip on the cicada.
Yeah,
And then, and of course, the whole time the cicada's screaming, right? And then
which
he
they do a lot.
swallowed it. And the cicada was in his crop and he was still screaming. And this duck is looking at me and I'm like falling out of the gator laughing. This duck is looking at me and that cicada was just screaming. And I mean, eventually it stopped, but Dick did not know what to do with that situation. But if I had got that on video, I bet it would have gone viral.
Yeah.
So, yep. All right, eggshells be fed back to the chickens. This one cracks me up. All the time spent cooking them in the oven, drying them out, crushing them, and I'm every time I see that, I'm thinking the electricity and the time used to heat them up and dry them in the oven, and then have to do dishes because you put them in the blender to crush them up. And here I am just flinging them out in the yard. I like crack an egg in the frying pan and then fling it out in the yard.
Yeah, you
So,
you don't have to dry the thing out.
no, no,
I
just
mean,
throw
if
it
you're
out
gonna
there.
store it for a while, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if
But,
you were going to store it, yes.
if you're cooking eggs and you throw them all in a big mixing cup or something like that, like at my house when we make eggs, we're cracking up a few eggs. Take them and crunch them with a spoon and toss them or toss the whole things. Because I've seen them, they'll like bite it and fling it and chomp and then go bite some more and fling it. I mean,
Mine just pick them
it's
up half of
entertainment.
them. Mine just pick up half of a shell and run across the yard with it.
Mhm.
And then the
'Cause
others
they
will
want it to
chase them.
themselves.
Yeah, the others will chase them like, "What do you have? I need what you have."
I want that.
Yep. Okay. So chickens stop laying in the winter because they're cold. Well, that's just dumb. Well, sorry. Did I
If
say
that's
that out loud?
I mean, if that's the case, how many eggs you think they're getting up in Pennsylvania or
The ch-
Missouri?
chickens laying has to do with the seasons, the light, the
Chicken laying has to do with 2 things. If they're mature and they're getting 14 hours of light a day, they will lay.
and they're not stressed. Now, a stressed bird won't
I was gonna
lay.
say there's a lot of things that'll keep them from laying. Stress. Well,
Sickness.
most of the stuff is causes the stress,
Yeah.
sickness, overcrowding, which causes stress. All that crap can stop them from doing it. But
But cold's not one of them.
mm-mm.
All right. Hardware cloth and chicken wire. Chicken wire keeps the chickens in, so it's easier for the raccoons to catch them.
I mean that's what I've always thought. And some people are like, "What? Y'all are crazy." But if you actually handle that octagon shape chicken wire, the stuff that comes with the coops that you put together, you buy them on Amazon. They're like 10
Timu.
by 10 or 10 by 20s, Timu special. Those come with that octagon shaped wire, and you can break that stuff. If you sit
Mhm.
there and work it a little bit, you can break that wire.
You can cut it with scissors sometimes.
Yeah, you can cut it with scissors if you got a remotely halfway decent pair of scissors.
Yep.
Now, hardware cloth, if you cut them with scissors, you're not going to be able to for long, and you have ruined that pair of scissors. The best thing I found to cut it with is a cutoff tool, like you would cut steel with, or tin snips, because hardware cloth is really, really thick, and raccoons typically can't get in it.
Well, just in case you didn't know, they make a little, I think, $20 attachment by DeWalt that you can put on your drill, and it will zip right through
Temp
hardware
sniff.
cloth. Yeah, it will zip right through hardware cloth. So if you're cutting a lot of it, spend the $20. Otherwise, your hands are going to get chewed up.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna cut hardware cloth and with a pair of 10 snips, you need to have on a good leather glove
Yeah.
because your hands will get eaten up.
Okay, float test. Throw some eggs in some water and see if they float or not.
Does that
All
mean
that
if they're fertilized?
it tells you that there's air inside of it. So, when an egg is aging, the moisture is evaporating out of an egg. Okay, so if you set it out on the counter over time, that egg will lose the moisture through the shell and it will
Yep.
just simply dry out.
Right.
Assuming, there's no contamination or no bacteria or anything. Okay, so if it's drying out, that moisture is being replaced with air. The air cell's getting bigger.
Right.
And you throw it in a bowl of water, and it's just measuring if there's air in there. And so, if you want to know if your egg is any good or not, I don't really think that that is a viable way to test.
Like by good, do you mean for hatching or for eating?
Well, if you have thrown it in a bowl of water, you don't want to hatch it, in my opinion. And I don't float test. I just simply take an egg and crack it in its own. I have little measuring cups that I use. They're Pyrex cup ones, get them for $1. And I just crack my egg in it. I never crack a fresh egg directly into a recipe. That's just a problem waiting to happen because I collect eggs every day and you will miss one somewhere. There will be one
Yeah.
that got buried in a dust bath and you will not know that that wasn't laid today because you collect eggs every day. So you
Mm-hmm.
always, always, always
Gotta always
crack
check it.
eggs individually. And if in doubt, if you find that egg and you're like, that's a full size egg and those are pullets, did they really lay that? Just throw it out in the woods, hit a tree with it. Don't even take it in the house because chances are you missed it last year and you
And
don't want it in your
there's a
house.
good chance that when you do crack it, everybody in your house is gonna smell it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So always crack your eggs individually.
Don't
Back
risk
to
it.
the float test though. In the incubation Facebook group, we're seeing people who are putting eggs in water to check for a live embryo. And I did not know this was a thing either. And so I go to YouTube, and sure enough, there's like a billion videos on it. And I just was like, are you freaking kidding me? So this is not good. This is another case of let's just make a video on stupid. So again, as an egg ages, it is losing moisture, gaining air. And a float test is only going to check for air. And
Right.
air moves. I mean, everybody stood out in the wind, right? Or seen bubbles in a 7-Up or a hot tub. Air moves through liquid. And so when you put it in that bowl of water, the air cell can move, which will make it wiggle. And then you're say, oh, there's an embryo in there. Well, not necessarily. Could just be an air bubble.
Yep.
So, but the problem I have with it is, first of all, you have a chick inside this egg and you're throwing it in a bowl of water. Are you checking to make sure that water is 100 degrees? Are you not concerned that you're putting a living thing in water, a bowl of water? I mean, I don't know. Please don't do it. There's more problems to it than there are benefits even thought of.
And look, if you really need to test your eggs like that before you load your incubator, then that just tells me that you need more hens so you can get enough to fill your incubator faster. And if that's the case, go to Valley Hatchery. Use code QuailMania. Get 10%
Yeah.
off.
Please don't ask them for round eggs versus pointy eggs.
No, because that
Doesn't matter. If that worked, the hatcheries would do it.
yeah, if you could hatch a certain egg and it be guaranteed a female based on some kind of physical characteristic, then there would not be millions of male chickens put to sleep every year just because they're boys. But there are, because they need females. So
All right.
gotta wait till after they hatch. What
Lower
about
temp for more females? That's a reptile thing.
yeah, that's a reptile thing, not a poultry thing. Sorry.
All
Stacker
right.
hatchers.
Stack. So that was an old group on Facebook. I don't know that she's still even hatching now, is what I've heard. We'll just leave it at her. We won't use names, but the person who decided that was a good idea had Nature Right 360s,
Mhm.
and she just piled eggs in there, took the turner out and piled eggs in there.
Yep.
And when they hatched, and when they didn't. And I never did understand, how did you clean them if there's always something in there? And hatching's nasty, so that got on all the other eggs.
Yeah, like
And
that's
then
a
what about the
lot.
eggs that were in there for like 90 days or something?
But I mean, just making a mound. Well, when they start hatching out, you're gonna squish some of them.
Okay,
I don't
so
know. That was a weird thing to me too, but it was a pretty
yeah,
large Facebook group. A lot of people jumped on the bandwagon.
and if you said anything against it, you got blocked. So of course I'm blocked from that from a long time ago. Let's see. Next on our list is wrong eggs. So we did some egg selection the other day, but pullet eggs, fairy eggs, double yolk eggs, soft shell eggs, these are not appropriate to try to incubate.
Now, I love to eat a good double yolked egg
Yeah, eat them.
because that's like a twofer. Now, I will say this: you can hatch them, but
What?
they're not going to be two normal chickens or two
You
normal
can't hatch a
quails.
double yolk. I mean, I know some people do manage to get it done, but there's only one air cell. You might get one chick to hatch, maybe. No way, serious?
But that's where your like 3 legs and crap like that comes from.
I had a 3-legged chick not too long
You
ago.
you ain't gonna get 2 healthy chickens or
No,
2
I don't
healthy
think so.
quail.
If you do, that's an anomaly, and I'm not gonna advocate that you should try to hatch a double yolk egg.
No, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't want to reproduce that.
No. Okay, the last thing on my list
Dum dum dum.
drives me bonkers every year.
But it's shaped like a bee. It's got to be a boy.
That stupid graphic from the really good article on sexing chicks. It's about but the wing feathers and the primaries are long, and then
Turn them sideways. They're like
if
a
it
boy.
goes this way, it's a boy, and if it's not this way, it's a girl. They didn't read the whole article. They took the graphic out of context.
Yeah, because I
And
think that's true on like 3 or 4 different kinds of chickens,
yes,
but
yes,
like that's not a across the board poultry thing by
no,
no means.
no.
There's just a couple breeds that is the case with.
If memory serves from the article, it was fast feathering
Mhm.
only. But anyway, so
Yeah.
that stupid graphic, and I think it even says figure 5.8 or something across the top of it, is taken out of context. Please do not share it if you see it. It is not accurate for 95% of the chickens that are out there.
There's roughly 10 to 12 points in the process to get a confirmed, definite roux or hen out of your birds.
Once you've
It's
had, if you
10 to
have a
12
line,
weeks.
if you have a line of birds like my Orpingtons or your Reds, we know our birds, and I can pretty well look at one at a week old and tell you what it is
I mean,
with
yeah, you can,
90% accuracy.
if you know your birds within a couple of weeks, you know.
Right. But if you're just got backyard mixes, which is fine, I'm not saying it's not fine.
Or if you
Backyard
go,
mixes are fine.
if you go to Tractor Supply, like many people do, and pick out chicks,
Yes.
that bee ain't gonna work.
No.
Holding them
So
upside down to see if they just dangle or fight to get back up, that don't work either. Because I had somebody, bless them, they came and they wanted to pick out their own chicks. And I was like, okay. So, they only wanted hens because they lived in the neighborhood and they couldn't have them. So they picked them up and they used the, dangle them upside down trick, picked out all the ones they had. I think they got like 7 or 8 total. And about 4 months later, got a phone call. Hey, I only have 1 hen. Do you want all these roosters back?
no, you picked them.
Mm-mm.
Well,
She didn't want her money back because she picked them out. Like, she didn't even ask. She just lived in an area where she couldn't have roosters. I was like, no, unfortunately, once a bird leaves my farm, it does not come back. So put them in the crock pot.
the only way to know what you have for sure at chick stage is if you have a sex-linked breed or do a sex-linked hybrid. I will say that.
That works.
Yes. All right. So that is the conclusion of our list.
Crap people say on social media. Be sure to give
Alright.
us a like, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit that bell icon so you get a notification every time we go live. That works. And go to Quail Mania. Check it out. Sign up
Yeah.
for free. Get the VIP pass so you can get all kinds of goodies, discount, huge promo codes, and things like that.
Yep.
We're going to be giving a bunch of crap away.
It's not crap, it's stuff.
Well, I mean, it's really nice stuff, but I call it crap because I can't win.
No, you're banned.
That would kind of be a conflict. But some of the stuff I would really like to have.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us this week. Before you go, be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you can receive new episodes right when they are released. And they're released every week. Feel free to email us at poultrynerds@gmail.com to share your thoughts about the show. Until next time, Poultry Pals, keep clucking, keep learning, and keep it exciting. This is Carrie signing off from Poultry Nerds. Feathers up, everyone.